Voltage dividers. What is a voltage divider? Why is it clever? Why is it not so clever? How do you calculate it? Well, stick around to the end of this video and you will know everything there is to know about a voltage divider. Hello viewers and welcome to a new STM32World Electronics video. As mentioned in the introduction, today we are going to talk about a concept called a voltage divider. As usual, if you like this video or if you like this approach to learning very basic electronics, please do like and subscribe down below and read the description as a very minimum. I also love to receive comments, so please do comment as well. In the first video we made, we talked about a simple circuit. All these videos are, by the way, I'll make pages on the STM32World Wiki about them, so you link them down below and you can go there and view the circuits. Now, in the first video, we talked about a circuit and we talked about Ohm's law, which defines the voltage drop over a resistor with a given current going through it, or the current going through a resistor with a certain voltage across it and a certain resistance. In the second law, we got a little bit more abstract, it might be, and talked about something called Kirchoff's law, which basically say that every node in a circuit, the same current flowing into that node must flow out of that node, or the voltage across around a circuit must end up being zero. So that was Kirchoff's law. Today we are going to apply that in reality and use those two, Kirchoff's law and Ohm's law, to understand how a voltage divider works. In order to understand how a voltage divider works, I have drawn a very simple schematics here, which consists of a voltage source, and I'm using 12 volt here. Actually, let me change that to 10 volts because it's easier to calculate in my head. So we have 10 volt supply. That means we have 10 volt up here. I have added a test point, and then we have a series of resistors, all the same size, all 1 kilo ohms, and that means we have a complete circuit. Now, in that circuit, a certain current will flow, and we can calculate that using Ohm's law, which states that the resistance, the voltage divided by the resistance, will give you the total current. So let's calculate that quickly. Now, the resistance, we have 1 kilo plus 1 kilo plus 1 kilo, that's 3 kilo. So we will have 10 ohms divided by 3000, and that leads us to, and you can see that down in that corner, 3.3 milliamps are flowing around that circuit. If you try to punch those numbers into a calculator, or you do it in your head, then you will reach that exact result. There is no question about it. Now, Kirchoff's law, while sounding abstract, is basically it's a basic understanding of how current flows around in the circuit. And because of that, it states that the current flowing into that point in the circuit must be the same as is flowing out of it. Same with this one, whatever flows in must flow out, and the same with this one and this one. And that essentially tells us that if there is 3.3 milliamps flowing through this wire, there must be 3.3 milliamps flowing through that resistor, and there must be 3.3 milliamps flowing through that resistor, and there must be 3.3 milliamps flowing through that resistor, and that in turn tell us exactly what the voltage drop might be. So 3 milliamps flowing through a 1 kilo resistor, that is a roughly 3.3 volt. So in other words, while we have 10 volt down here, up here, after it flows through that resistor, there is a voltage drop over that resistor, and that means at this point there must be 6.6 volt. And then we do it again, and there must be 3.3 volt, and then we do it again, and whoa, 0 volt, because there is 0 volt down here. So Kirchoff's law works, and so does Ohm's law. Now, it also makes it really easy to calculate these voltages, and these voltages are what we are looking at today, because we're looking at a voltage divider. So if we need, say, 3.3 volt from a 10 volt source, we could achieve that with, well, basically a 2K resistor or two 1K resistor and a 1K resistor, and we will end up with 3.3 volt. We can divide any voltage down. You can't add it up. It can't be bigger. That's also Kirchoff's law, but we can divide it down any way we see fit. So how do you calculate these voltages in a generic way? Well, if you look at a voltage divider on Wikipedia always have an article about these topics, and they are usually quite too extreme. But basically, they only show, I think they only show two, but you can, of course, divide multiple times. But you have an input voltage, you have a resistor 1, and you have a resistor 2, and you have a voltage out. And technically speaking, with a resistive divider, you have it down here actually, you have R1 plus R2. In my formula, I have called that RT for total, the total resistor, and R2 is the bottom resistor. So the formula simply becomes that the output voltage is the input voltage multiplied by the total resistance, the bottom resistance divided by the total resistance. So let's see if that is roughly correct. We have 10 volt in, we have a total of 3,000. So R2, if we look at this point down here, is 1 divided by 1,000 divided by 3,000. So that is 1/3 of the voltage in. And what do you know? 3.3 volt. Now, if we took this point up here, you will have the total is still 3, but we now have 2,000 as the bottom. So we have we will end up with 10 volt multiplied by 2/3. So it is quite simple to calculate these voltage divider. Where it becomes tricky is if you have certain resistors and you need to match a certain voltage there, then that will become tricky. Now, voltage dividers, this is really quite clever. However, is it useful? Well, it is, and it is used quite often in circuits. However, the problem with a voltage divider is that if you put a load on it, it changes the circuit. So what I want to do here, say we, for example, want to power a microcontroller of some sorts, and they typically today run on 3.3 volts. So you would say, okay, whatever we have in, we can just calculate these resistors, and then we have a voltage source that we can use to power this microcontroller. Doesn't quite work like that, and I will show you in the simulation here why it doesn't work like that. But you should take a moment and guess, because if you think Kirchoff's law and Ohm's law, it becomes quite obvious. So let's try to duplicate that one, and we have it over here. We have another resistor, and that we use that resistor to simulate our load on this circuit. And let's hook that up here and there and there. Notice the voltages when I put this in. So now all the voltage is changed. It's changed to 6 volt and 2 volt. Why is that? Well, because of Kirchoff's law, whatever flows into this point is the same that flows out, part will flow down there, part will flow over here, and through that resistor. And these two resistors together is then the bottom resistor, and that bottom resistor is actually half of, because they're the same, so half will flow each way. So we are talking about half a K, 500 ohms down here, so we end up with 2,500 in total. And if we look at 500 divided by 2,500 times Vm, it's 2, it's 1/5, right? So the math still works, but the problem is, and the problem why you don't use a voltage divider to provide supply, is that if this one changes, and a microcontroller, which I showed before, right? A microcontroller, depending on how fast you run it, how many peripherals you add, and etc., etc., it doesn't use a constant current. It will vary depending on what you're actually doing on it. And if you see this one, if we change that to, say, 5K, less current going that way, you see these values are changed. They're not 3 still, but and what if we use more? Say we put 500 there, you will see the simulation, more current will run this way. So this one is moving faster than this one. That indicates in Circuit.js that more current is flowing that way. And you can see these values will change madly. So a voltage divider cannot be used to supply a fixed voltage to any device that is anything but a resistor that never changes. So where is voltage dividers actually used? Well, you have, I'll get back to that in later videos, but you have certain components that you can use in a circuit that have an insanely high input voltage, input resistance, or input resistance. For example, operational amplifiers, op amps, or you have MOSFETs, and they will have a very, very, very low current running into it. And in those cases, it could be used as a way to divide a voltage down to a manageable range. Say you are using an ADC on a microcontroller, we cannot go above 3.3 volt, but we want to measure 12 volt. Well, divide it down with a voltage divider to a very, very within the range of 0.3 to 3.3 volt, and then put that through something called a voltage follower. I'll get back to that. You have a high input resistance and a low output resistance, and that way you can actually measure voltages that are above 3.3 volt with a voltage divider and a little bit of calculation. So voltage dividers are actually used quite commonly in circuits, and it is important to understand why they work the way they do, how they work, and how to calculate them. And I hope you understand the basics of this. Now, this this circuit, let's get back to that. This circuit, I will, it is a clumsy user interface. This circuit I will probably put on exactly as it is here. I'll put that in the link down below so you can run this by yourself. Play around with the values, try to change the values in the voltage divider, calculate every time and see that the simulated values actually follow Ohm's law to the letter. That is the important message in this video. So please play around with it. And as mentioned earlier, I would appreciate if you would like and subscribe. It means everything for a channel like this. And also, I need to know if people are actually interested in this or they don't really care about electronics. You should care if you're doing embedded electronics, embedded development. You really should care about these things, but I have a suspicion that people don't really care. I don't get as many views on these videos yet as I had hoped for, but we will see if that changes over time. As usual, have a wonderful rest of the day.